for who it is you are. And in clarifying that idea, you set up a vibration. That vibration then becomes your reality by simply maintaining it as a clear intention and acting that way. Part 2, perhaps you can say camera, for it is the mechanism that allows for, perhaps you can say in many ways, the recording of that vibration. That is clear definition, clear deservability, and clear desire. These lay down the fundamental foundation whereby all of the aspects are in place, and then all there is necessary or needed in that sense to do to complete the process as a conscious creator is to then, with a foundation, act upon that foundation. Apply in your reality as an action these ideas. You are physical beings in this particular expression of your soul. You are infinite creators, perhaps you can say, as your innate self. But you are now exploring within that infinity of your consciousness a finite point of view in a physical reality. The ultimate expression of your creatorhood in a physical reality is action. Action moves, is the moving mechanism of your reality. The beliefs, the emotions, the thoughts are a foundation. That foundation subtly or blatantly affects your actions. And as we have always shared, it is your actions that create the reality. A simple reminder. Your society has many notions about what you call spirituality and what you generally then refer to as mundane material reality. And many times, individuals will strive to express their spiritual side and feel that in order to do so, they must deny their physical side. But this, to us, is a paradox. It is one way to go about focusing on your spirituality, but it is, from, again, our perspective, generally at the cost of a portion of your spirituality. And here is why. Your actions, your material reality, is a spiritual expression, not a separate idea or a sub-classification within spirituality. Action, materiality, is spiritual, is a form of spirituality. Therefore, it is an expression of your soul, of your spirit. And you need not deny yourself material existence, deny yourself action to obtain spiritual. Simply grant yourself the inherent spirituality within your actions, within your materiality. Everything in creation is equal. And it is not that spirituality is better than materiality now. One is an expression of the other, and you can express consciously your actions, and consciously, shall I say, manipulate the materials of your reality with a spiritual attitude, not one at the cost of the other. In order to create in this reality, you must perform an action. You must do something. So another analogy that we have used, it is all well and good to have your head in the clouds, to think lofty thoughts, to ponder your spirituality. But it only becomes practical. It only becomes applicable and usable when, while your head is in those clouds, to keep your feet on the ground. And when we speak about grounding yourself, we simply mean what can you do in any given moment from what is available, not what is not available. No matter what, your actions ultimately create your reality. You can always use your actions to tell and trace back to yourself what you must be thinking, feeling, and believing. For you always act like you believe something. If you say, my belief is that I deserve everything that I can create in positive love and light, then believe me, if you wish, you act that way. If you say, I do not deserve, you act like a person who does not deserve. Now, as I have shared, technically speaking, you contain both beliefs. I deserve, I do not deserve. You contain both of those beliefs. You are an expression of all that is. There is no outside. You contain it all. So therefore, it is not I have this belief and do not have this other belief. You have both beliefs, but you are expressing one belief instead of the other. And that expression takes the form of action. You are either acting, using the aforementioned example, like a person who deserves, or acting like a person who does not. And there is no middle ground, one or the other. If you act like a person who does not deserve, you get the evidence. Those actions have results, which are the evidence of that belief. But if you simply allow yourself to see, allow yourself to project how a person who does deserve would act, and act that way instead, not denying that you have the unpreferred belief, but simply choosing the preferred belief, you can transform your life. Your actions create your life in a physical universe. Therefore, acting according to preference is one of the bottom lines of which we speak. And if you say, well, I can't do that, you are taking an action. You are continuing to perform the old unpreferred actions. It is not automatic. It is not something that happens to you. You are choosing to continue the things you do not prefer. You contain all beliefs, and what determines the result is which one you express through your actions. Actions are the bottom line. Action in this particular physical universe, and there are many other universes in which this is not so much the emphasis, but is the bottom line. It is the primary mover, so to speak, of your reality. Therefore, begin to pay attention to your actions and begin to ask yourself if something non-preferred seems to be coming out of the neutral soup. What am I doing right now? How am I acting? Am I acting according to my preferred belief, or am I acting according to my non-preferred belief? I am definitely doing one or the other. So, allowing yourself to establish what you are already doing is step one. Owning what you are already doing. Then you can choose something else. If you do not own it, and if you then create an elaborate explanation of how it is happening to you, it is a habit. Oh, a habit is automatic. I can't help it. It is happening to me. Well, yes, a habit seems to be something which occurs automatically without thought. But once you think about it, once you define it as a habit, you are now conscious of it. And from that point forward, it is no longer a habit, even if you continue to do it. It is a choice. It is up to you. You are always acting one way or another. Always. So therefore, if you are getting non-preferred results in your life, look at your actions. Do not assume that doing the same thing over and over again, seemingly, will yield you a different result. No. What will yield you a different result is a new action. And what gives you a blueprint for the new action is your preferred beliefs, emotions, and thoughts. Begin to factor them in. And begin to act according to preference. Act according to unconditional love. Act according to your excitement. In every given moment, there are generally in your finite creations just so many things that are available, Can I do something about this right now? No, that is not available. Can I do something about this right now? Yes, that is one of the options available in the moment. Allow yourself to remain grounded for what's available. If you begin to act and choose from what is available, you will begin to see a very, very extreme change in your life. For that is coming from a belief and assumption that I always have exactly what I need in any given moment, though perhaps now and then I may have to search out, for it may not seem that obvious. Then you can apply your creativity to again seek and begin to examine more closely what is available. Well, is that available in the moment? No. It is something I wish to do. Is it available? No. Then it is not an option. I cannot act upon that thing. I would still like to do that thing. Therefore, I maintain it as a clear intention, and when it is one of the options, I know that that timing will be perfect, and that when I can act upon it.
But somehow or other, you are able to decide and control things more harmoniously if you delegate authority. That's why very great businessmen are those who can delegate authority. Trust others to work for them. Because those are people developing businesses on the same basic structure that is fundamental to a living organism. Delegation of authority. It loves and nourishes all things, but does not lord it over them. And you see, then, what is happening is this. The more you let go of it and trust it, as if it were quite other than you, the more you realize the inseparable identity of self and other. To go back, if you try to find the identity of self and other by subjecting other to self, no go. If, on the other hand, you find it through giving self, that is control, over to other and trusting that, you may make a mistake. You may make a bad gamble. But in the long run, you're acting on a principle which has the backing of evolution. This is the way biological evolution goes on. Constant delegation of authority. That's why, obviously, the democracy is superior to the monarchy. Mr. Tocqueville has said that democracy is always right, but for the wrong reasons. Because there is operating in a democracy the principle that Buckminster Fuller calls synergy. And synergy is the intelligence of a highly complex system, the nature of which is always unknown to the individual members. Because that goes back again to this point, that we're always entering a new environment. We don't ever know fully what the new environment is, because the only environments we know are the past ones. There is always then operating in the development of cellular life on any level a new way of organization, higher than any existing form. And we are not aware of it until after it's happened. If you ever saw, for example, the film Kon-Tiki, this man figured out a few things as to how to make a balsa wood raft to sail from South America to the Pacific Islands. But once he had set this in motion, he discovered that all sorts of unexpected factors cooperated with him. That when the wood got wet, it expanded so that the ties bit into it and held it completely secure. He had never expected that. And he found that as he sailed along, a flying fish would simply alight flat on the deck every morning for breakfast. That all kinds of natural factors, it was this, he had touched a key where he was flowing with the course of nature, and everything cooperated with him. Because he had touched the key. He had made the act of faith. And he was just picking up, in other words, a practice which had been hundreds and hundreds of years ago, had been followed by others who had worked it out by their great ecological awareness. So we do come out of this way of thinking to something which has, I would say, the most enormously creative and revolutionary social consequences. That it has become not virtuous, not self-sacrificing, not anything like that. It has become the hardest practical politics to let go control to others, to give up trying to dominate the scene. Also, in a parallel way, it has become at this time in our history very much hard practical politics. To learn how to enjoy ourselves. You can go to the Protestant people with their Protestant ethic who are against this kind of thing. Now say to them with great plea, it is your solemn duty to learn how to enjoy it. Why? Because in an age of leisure, people have really got to know how to enjoy themselves. Because if they don't, they'll smash the whole future of the human race. So a utopia has become not some sort of a dream, but an urgent necessity. We can't do without it. Because if we try to do without it, what's going to happen is that we are going to terminate our race in a mutual massacre of scapegoats. And so the present paranoia in the United States that is going on, where everybody is thinking up a new scapegoat, how great it will be to demolish them or get them out of power. All this kind of bickering, right and left politics has become irrelevant because we now have the opportunity of trusting our own intelligence, our own technology. To take the risk of doing what we want, which will work, to the extent that we realize that what I want, basically, what I really want is what you want. And I don't know what. It surprised me. But that's the kinship between I and thou. So when I ask, I go right down to the question, which we started with. What do I want? The answer is, I don't know. When Bodhidharma was asked, who are you? Which is another form of the same question. He said, I don't know. Planting flowers to which the butterflies come. Bodhidharma says, I know not. I don't know what I want. Well, when you don't know what you want, you've reached the state of desirelessness. When you really don't know. You see, there's a beginning stage of not knowing and there's an ending stage of not knowing. In the beginning stage, you don't know what you want because you haven't thought about it. Or you've only thought superficially. Then when somebody forces you to think about it and go through it and say, yeah, I think I'd like this, I think I'd like that, I think I'd like the other, there's the middle stage. Then you get beyond that. Say, is that what I really want? In the end you say, no, I don't think that's it. I might be satisfied with it for a while, and I wouldn't turn my nose up at it. But it's not really what I want. Why don't you really know what you want? 2 reasons that you don't really know what you want. Number 1, you haven't. Number 2, you don't know yourself. Because you never can. Godhead is never an object of its own knowledge. Just as a knife doesn't cut itself, fire doesn't burn itself, light doesn't illumine itself. It's always an endless mystery to itself. I don't know. And this I don't know, uttered in the infinite interior of the spirit, this I don't know is the same thing as I love, I let go, I don't try to force or control. It's the same thing as humility. And so the Upanishads say, if you think that you understand Brahman, you do not understand, and have yet to be instructed further. If you know that you do not understand, then you truly understand. For the Brahman is unknown to those who know it, and known to those who know it not.